Hello, you're in tune with the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm your host, Captain Dave Burston, Chief Public Information Officer for the Indiana State Police. And we're glad to have you here today, courtesy of our good friends at the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, who without them, we could not bring you the show each week across the radio stations that air our program, as well as being on YouTube. And special thanks to Tom Trial, the man behind the curtain that I'm pointing to. You just can't see him. So, Tom, thank you for all that you do for us. This week, as you know, we're always talking about things that are public safety related. This is Sunday. It's April 23rd. There's a big event coming to Indianapolis. You may have heard it before. It's called the FDIC, and if you don't know what that stands for, it's the Fire Department Instructors Conference. And to talk to us about that is the person that, if she doesn't know everything, she knows nearly everything. And she's also happy to call her friend, Battalion Chief Rita Reith with the Indianapolis Fire Department. Rita, welcome to the program.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here. I think the last time you were here, Rich Myers was the host, wasn't he?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. So I'm so happy that you're here to do the interview today, and we won't. Never mind.
Yeah, it's well, we
love Rich, but
the vacationing Rich
you're the
Myers.
Big dog.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I'd like to say he's actually hard at work.
He's awesome.
So,
he's
but
awesome.
we have to give him a Sunday off every once in a while.
I know. How gracious of you. Yeah.
So
you made him work twice as many hours that week just to take a Sunday off.
I'm a good guy.
You're a good guy.
What can I say? Let's talk about the thing that we came here to talk about, the Fire Department Instructor Conference. It kicks off tomorrow. There's lots of events. But before we really get into the meat of that, I want people to know Rita Reith a little bit more. And since when I host the show, I always ask for you to tell about how long have you been with the department, what brought you to the fire service, what assignments did you have that brought you to where you are today?
Okay, so I am 54 years old. And I have...
And not ashamed to say.
And not ashamed to say it. And I have two daughters that are 26. They're twins. And kind of a little bit about my background. I graduated in journalism with a degree in journalism from IU, Bloomington. And I was about 31 years old when I came on the fire department. I knew nothing about being a firefighter. I was playing on a co-ed softball team, and one of the guys was a fireman. And he said, hey, you should become a firefighter. And, of course, the conversation got started from there. I tried out. About 2,700 people applied for the job, and they took 24 of us. So it's a very competitive process. I was extraordinarily fortunate to get on my first try. They took 4 women in that class, and I've been on the job now 23 years. I started out as a substitute firefighter, and then we move up the ranks to private, lieutenant, captain. But of course, I've been recently promoted to battalion chief about a year ago. But my degree in journalism, I think, is what got me into the PIO's position, because the chief is always looking for somebody who maybe has the ability to write 2 sentences coherently, yeah, which is hard to do anymore. But anyway, so I think that's basically what got me under the radar of the chief. And so when Chief Sanford, who was our former chief, asked me to be the PIO, of course, I accepted, because that's what you do in the fire service, and I've been doing it for about 9 years. So it's been a very, very interesting job in the fire service. I've learned a lot. It's a whole different kind of service, doing it from a PIO standpoint as opposed to being a firefighter on the street. So I am more than happy to promote the good works that the firefighters are doing out there each and every day. It seems to make the general public happy when they hear all the stories that they're out there saving lives and doing good works and doing community service and that kind of stuff. So I do enjoy that, but I do miss fighting fire quite a bit.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you miss going home, hacking up a lung after fighting a fire. So,
well, okay, I don't miss that, but I do miss the camaraderie of being in the firehouse. You don't get that being in my position, even though I get to see the firefighters 24/7. But there is something about accepting a job where you run into burning buildings and you kind of deal with all those kinds of things. But so I do miss that. But and there may be an opportunity if the chief decides he wants a different PIO for me to go back out and do
There's
that.
always
But
I like how you put it. That opportunity could present
itself. But no, but at this point, my current assignment is the media relations part, and I'm happy to do it. I enjoy doing it, and I get to hang out with people like you.
Well, thank you. Very kind of you to say. Well, let's talk about the topic at hand, the Fire Department Instructors Conference. FDIC has been coming here for a couple of decades?
Yes. FDIC will come here for its 23rd year in Indianapolis. It is 90 years old, the conference itself, but in Indianapolis, I believe it came here from Cincinnati. It outgrew the space they had available in Cincinnati. They were looking for a new space. They came to Indianapolis. We've grown as a city right along with it, and I believe, they're going to be here a couple more years. So, but they love Indianapolis. Everything about our city is prime for a convention like FDIC. Within the mile square, you can park your car and walk the entire week that you're here. So you just, the folks at FDIC and the attendees that come to the conference, you can't beat it. I mean, it's bar none the best city in the country to have a conference.
I think people that live here in Indianapolis take for granted because we live here and we're just around it all the time. But Indianapolis is so walkable.
It's great.
And I really learned that from when we hosted the Super Bowl years ago. How walkable it is. I walked over here from the office instead of driving. It takes less time.
Absolutely, lots of fun, lots of things to do in the mile square.
Well, let's talk about some of the events that are going to be coming up. I know that you gave me a list of them here, and I want to jump right into them. The big event, it starts on the 24th, but it looks like a lot of the things that the public can do and be involved with start later toward the middle of the week. And particularly, I'm always thinking about comedy, and I see that on Tuesday the 25th, so just a couple days from now, you've got Comedy Night, Comedy versus Cancer. Tell me about that.
Okay, so Firefighters Cancer Support Network every year hosts an event where the money raised goes to help support firefighters battling cancer and help support ways that we in the fire service can eradicate cancer amongst firefighters. 60% or more of firefighters every year come down with some form of cancer. And so it is a huge problem in the fire service. One of the events that is hosted every year at FDIC is the Comedy versus Cancer. They bring in a headliner. This year, I believe it's Devin from Comedy Central.
Okay.
He's going to be the headliner. It's a great night. You can come out to the Indiana Roof Ballroom. It's $20 to get in the door, and then I believe there's 3 comedy acts that night. So it's a lot of fun. It goes for a very good cause. We are, all of us together are battling this problem of cancer in the fire service. It's a huge issue. We talk about it at the conference quite a bit. There's a lot of information out there, but, we would appreciate the public support and come into this thing and let's fill up the roof. It's a very fun night.
Looking forward to the 27th, you've got an outside demo area. I imagine that's where all the equipment is, the big trucks, things for people to look at. And that's open to the public?
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's open to the public with a pass.
That has a pass.
Yes, and so you can buy a pass at the conference for, I believe it's $30, and bring your kids. The conference actually covers the entirety of Lucas Oil Stadium South Lot, and the Convention Center. So you can basically walk from the Convention Center all the way across and down into Lucas Oil Stadium without ever going outside.
Wow.
But it is full of nothing but fire trucks and equipment and all kinds of cool, fun things for the kids to look at. Grown men come, they buy a pass because there's just, the Lucas Oil is completely full of fire trucks. And if you
big
like
boy toys.
Big boy toys. And if you like that sort of thing, it's awesome, and we encourage you to come and buy a day pass. Bring the family.
And you talked about a day pass. That carries you on into the evening as well, because I see also on the 27th you've got the Stop, Drop, Rock and Roll. So you can get there at 6 in the morning, see all the stuff outside, stay there all day, and tell me about the Drop, Rock and Roll.
Well, the Stop, Drop, Rock and Roll is sponsored by the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, and that is an agency that helps survivors families of fallen firefighters. So again, I believe that's $20 as well, and you can go to that. There's great music, there's food, there's auction items. It's a great night as well, and I believe that's at the roof as well.
And if you don't want to do that on the evening of the 27th, you can go do the Courage and Valor Fun Run.
Exactly.
Tell us about that.
That is probably the most fun of all. That is a run. It's a 5K on the canal. It's a beautiful run. It's flat, so you don't have to worry about that. Bring the kids. People do it. They run, they walk, they have strollers. They bring the family, but it is $20. You can show up day of and sign up. All the money there goes to the Courage and Valor Foundation, which is an award given to a firefighter by the FDIC conference for bravery, good works.
Okay.
This year, the selected recipient, his name is Jimmy Lee. He's from the New York Fire Department, and he rescued a man. He was lowered into a fire, rescued a man from with a rope. He picked him off, basically a pick off. The guy was inside his apartment. The apartment was on fire. He lowered himself in with a rope, grabbed the man, came out, and on his way out, the rope started to burn. And he didn't know that, but his crew did. And they expedited his retrieval from the fire. They got him down, and the rope broke in half. So very, very daring.
So they got him out before the rope broke.
They did.
Okay.
They did. And fortunately, he says for him, he will be at the conference this year receiving his Courage and Valor Award. But thankfully, he said he did not know the rope was on fire. But that is a super, super low frequency, extraordinarily high risk event. He was chosen as the recipient of the Courage and Valor this year.
Sounds like he earned it.
He did.
I'm looking forward to then on the 28th, I am seeing that now this is a family event, right?
Okay, which part?
Well, I mean, the whole thing's family event.
The whole thing is
but I'm seeing
absolutely.
firefighter throwdown. What's the firefighter throwdown?
Okay, firefighter throwdown is a CrossFit-based competition. So it is run by a group out of Atlanta. But the nice thing that we have here this year is one of the sponsoring agencies is our local CrossFit gym, Naptown Fitness. And basically it is firefighters, physical fitness and firefighters go hand in hand. We're constantly looking for ways to prevent one of the biggest causes of fatalities in the fire service, which is heart attack. And so the CrossFit Throwdown, the money raised there goes to prevent and help with issues related to medical emergencies amongst firefighters, especially heart attacks. But the CrossFit Throwdown is a gigantic CrossFit competition where teams of 3 compete against each other. I believe they are comprised of 2 men and 1 woman on each team.
Okay.
From all across the country, and they take it seriously. It is a big, huge deal.
Anything that's called a throwdown event, I figure
That's
they're taking
right.
it seriously. And that runs from 10 to 5, and then
Correct.
also on the same day, that Friday, this coming Friday, you've got the stair climb, and that's happening in the stadium.
That is a super cool event to watch. It is firefighters climbing the stairs of Lucas Oil Stadium, representing the 343 firefighters that were killed on 9/11. And basically, they start in one area, and there's hundreds of them that do this walk. And it's again with the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. They wear a badge with the picture and story behind each firefighter that was killed, and they do it in gear, and they walk up the stairs and kind of do their 343 steps. Very, very, very poignant.
Sounds like
event.
you've got tons of things going on. I see the National Guard's involved too.
The National Guard is involved. There is a competition, a National Guard competition, and if you've never been to one, it's super cool to watch. And I don't know how many of our local honor guards are going to be in it, but it's a pretty big deal amongst the honor guard group. It's a competition that they take again very seriously, and it's a prestigious honor to win it.
Now, I know you mentioned what the costs are. Give a quick rundown. How do people get tickets? I mean, this is all starting tomorrow on Monday. People can still get tickets. So they go to a website. What do they do?
Well, it's best to just come in one of the doors of the convention center, either on the Capitol Street side or the Maryland Street side. There are big registration desks, and they can just go up and ask, and they'll be able to buy the day pass there.
So what is your favorite part of FDIC?
My favorite part of FDIC is getting to see the people that come to the conference year after year after year, getting to see them again and again, because we draw a worldwide audience. They come from 53 different countries. 35,000 folks or firefighters will come. And, once you've been to the conference once, you come back year after year. It's that type of a thing, because each year the level of education, the training, all of that stuff, it's a great opportunity to learn something new.
So I guess you established some long-term friendships with people that same time next year.
Same time next year.
So,
Yep.
well, very good. Well, Rita, I want to thank you so very much for being part of the Indiana State Police Roadshow, and I appreciate you taking time from your day to share what people can see at the FDIC, and looking forward to seeing you there.
Yes. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having us.
Thanks to all of you that listen to the Indiana State Police Roadshow or watch us on our YouTube channel. Thanks to our sponsors, the Indiana State Police Alliance, as well as Cops for Kids. You know, Rich Myers closes the show by saying roadshow out. I can say it. I just say buckle up. The life you save may be your own. Bye-bye.